Okay, move on to the second section. We're having until 10:30 on Saturday. Start her up.
Hi, Michael. I imagine it's quite tough getting parachuted into a managerial job mid-season when maybe you can't make wholesale changes really, really quickly. When you see the way the team are playing, how close is that to what you've got in your mind as the way that you want a Michael Carrick team to play?
I think it always evolves, it's never perfect. I've said that. We're always kind of hoping for more. And I think part of it's understanding of how kind of little time still we've kind of been together. And sometimes it's going to go well, and there's going to be times where it doesn't quite click so much. I think not to be over picky and over harsh in certain things, and actually taking the perspective and the bigger picture is important for us. But yeah, I think we're in a good place. Some ways we made big strides, winning games that we might not have won at other times. Played some good football at times, things to improve at times. Defending really well a lot of the time, and keeping clean sheets. So there's lots of positives. There's so many layers of kind of levels that we feel we can get to as a group. So we'll just keep pushing for that.
Samuel?
I'm sure it's something that's not really that you focused on, but with Oliver Glasner coming this weekend, there has been some chatter about him potentially becoming the head coach here at some point in the future, despite Palace's form. Is that something that is an extra motivation for you going into the game, or is it just something that you would never ever consider?
No, not really. It's not something that would cross my mind, to be honest, until you kind of mention it.
I mean, when you were helping Ole, it felt quite significant after that game. I think when you won at Tottenham, and obviously Pochettino was in charge. Can you still get those surges of momentum from certain wins like that, where, as you just said, you're not necessarily looking at the fellow coach in the opposite dugout, but in time later on down the line, it can feel quite significant?
Honestly, no, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. It's total respect for Crystal Palace and Oliver in terms of the team that they are and the role that they're doing, and that's not no disrespect. It's the next game for us, and we're in a position where we found ourselves that we're in a decent spot, and we feel like we're moving forwards, and it's just about what's in front of us and trying to get to where we want to be, which is a little bit higher up the league. So that's literally all that I'm worried about at the moment.
Stephen, and then Will.
Hi, Michael. We spoke to Benjamin Sesko after the Everton game the other night, and he talked about Travis Binion really helping him in training. Could you provide some insight into what Travis is doing on the training pitch, and if you enjoyed working with him since you've arrived at the club?
Yeah, the coaches are doing some really great work. I'm sitting here and kind of answering the questions, but there's a lot of work that goes on kind of underneath that, and it's been a big focus of ours, to be honest, in terms of individuals and narrowing things down and trying to help the players. I think I spotted that from the start, trying to develop them, and Trav's been a big part of that in so many ways as Steve, Woody, and Johnny have, and Craig. So I think it's a bit of everything, really. A little bit on the pitch, a little bit one-on-one, a little bit in the meeting room, and as much as everything, just conversation and relationships and connections and support. I think this is important. Like we try and provide for all the players. It's not always easy to just flick a switch and perform. So there's so many different elements that are kind of we try and provide the support and help for, but and then trying to get improvement and trying to push the players to be better. And I think we've made some good gains in some of those instances.
Does Travis work with the strikers individually? Because I know Jonathan Woodgate's been doing a lot of work with the defenders.
Yeah, we kind of split it up. Naturally, it takes its course. I think any coaching team, you try and spread it. So again, building relationships a little bit, having eyes on certain things, and I think it helps for the players to know and feel that connection with certain coaches to then really kind of investing in that improvement process, really. And so Trav he's done quite a bit of work with the forwards, sometimes as a unit, sometimes as a group, sometimes as individuals. So it's just constant, really, and trying to keep improving.
Okay. Hi, Michael. You mentioned obviously you want to be back in Europe. This is one of the few weeks where you've got 2 games in a few days, quick turnaround. Is this part of stress testing the squad and seeing how they react to having, after quite many weeks with no midweek games, to see how they react going in one to the other against 2 teams that are playing in Europe?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, we obviously had the West Ham midweek game Feels a long time ago now, but it wasn't probably that long ago. And listen, as a squad, as a group of players that, you know, over the careers, the boys are used to it. So it's not something all of a sudden that's really new. It feels a bit fresh because we haven't had much, but it's not really such a big deal. Really, I think we're fit, we're in good shape, and the boys got enough experience and know what this league brings to game. And if you got to play them close together, then you got to be ready for the next one.
Rich and then finish with Carl.
Hey Michael, just want to ask you about Luke Shaw. Started every game for United this season. You know, he's had his injury issues in the past. How impressed have you been with him that he's someone you can now rely on every single match to play as long as you need him?
He's in a good place, Luke. I think again, experience helps that in terms of managing load, managing your body, understanding what it is to get through a season and putting a run of games together. I think that in itself is probably underestimated, you know, and you know, we came to game and be fit for the next game, but actually being able to do it over a long period of time, sometimes take a bit of adjusting. And he's been good. He's been good for a long time, Luke, and especially this season to have that consistency just shows how how much experience has helped him.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carrick. Hope you're doing well. I'd like to ask about Lissandro Martinez. He dropped out at the game against Everton due to some sort of injury. What can you tell us about his current health, and how does the team respond when you don't have a player of his talent in it?
Boys responded well. We kept a clean sheet, so they responded well. I thought Lenny came in and did ever so well, but yeah, Leach was a small issue, so he's getting closer. He won't be out for very long, so we'll just monitor him over the next day, 2, 3, 4 days, and see when he can come back. But he's not far away.
All right, cheers, guys. Hi, everybody. Join us on YouTube this Sunday from 12:30 p.m. UK time for all the build-up to our game against Crystal Palace. Zara and I will be joined by former Reds Fraser Campbell, and Danny Simpson will have the team arrivals, live warm-ups, interviews, analysis, and much more. See you on Sunday.